Hi, we're Mike and Karen Staffieri. We've been married for 54 years. We have 2 biological sons and a bunch of other kids in the house. In 2003, I retired. We moved from New Jersey to Delaware, and while we were in Delaware, we bought a motorhome because we had 5 grandkids at the time, and we figured we would be driving around with the motorhome, seeing the country.
Yeah.
And that didn't so much happen. Then by 2007, one of our biological children had another child here in Virginia. In our motorhome, we came down, we said, one of us said, I could live down here. The other said, yeah, so could I. Karen opened up, I think it was a Chesterfield Observer, and it said, foster parents needed. And we said, wow, foster, okay. Karen goes, maybe we should do this. So I said, go ahead. If you want to get into information, go ahead. So she went and got the information, and that was in August. And by January, she had kind of like, I don't want to say twisted my arm, but said, let's go and do the classes.
But the more you went to the classes, the more you realized that this is definitely
this is something we should be doing. By August of 2008, we get a call to have a young child. He was 2 years old, and what it was, he was having all these episodes, so to speak.
What he had a shunt. He was born with
hydrocephalus. Just had a shunt in it. So anytime any kind of illness like a cold, a flu, we had to rush him to the hospital. This one time it was a beautiful winter morning, but there was snow on the ground. He looked out the window, boom. Next thing I know, he's on the ground, he's turning blue. I said, do my CPR, call the fire department. They sent 3 fire trucks to the house. So I said to I told the captain, I said, Captain, you didn't have any more fire trucks to send? There was only 3. So he wanted to go back to his mom.
And that's always our plan, to foster children in order for them to get back with their family. So we want to do everything we could to help that family get back together again.
But then we had a couple more placements, and then we took in a sibling group of 3, and it was supposed to be for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So 2.5 years later, they're still with us. They're set up for adoption, and we suggested that they all 3 go to different families, because it would be just too much for one family to take care of all 3 of these kids, because they would have been overwhelmed. So one went, and originally it was supposed to be one extended family taking all 3, which would have been great. But Seth, who we have now, he went to be with the 3rd family member, and it was just a bad. He was the healthiest of the bunch. And the funny thing is, when he left, he told us, he goes, "I'll be back." When we did the kids, we never told the kids to call us mom and dad, because we weren't mom and dad. We were just foster parents.
We were called Mr.
Mike and Miss Karen. And the kids, we would do that. And so Seth went to be with the family, and the other 2, they stuck. Okay, they were there, but Seth's wasn't working out. The family was going through a whole bunch of other stuff that wasn't a good time for them to adopt. So we found out it was at the Right to Life march in Richmond. And
we get a call, and they wanted a picture. They wanted a picture of Seth by himself without his siblings, and the caseworker had asked for that. And I knew that if they're asking for a picture of Seth, that means that the placement isn't working out.
And I said, "Oh no, they just want it for their files." And
I said, "No, he's going to be going back into the system." Yeah. And I said, "Can we adopt him?" And it took him a while, but he agreed that that's what we were supposed to do, and that's what the Lord would have us do.
The funny thing about Seth, when we had the 3 kids, one of my buddies said, "Why don't you adopt Seth?" I said, "Look, man, right now I'm changing his diapers. In 10 years, he'll be changing my diapers. So far, so good." we're both out of diapers. But on the way back, we told him we'd take him back, and when the caseworker brought him back to our house, family only lived like 5 or 6 miles away from us. Yeah. So it was just a short run back. She said when he came around the corner, he looked at the house and said,
"That's where my mom and dad live." And the amazing thing is, I had said to the caseworker prior to that, I had said, what should we have Seth call us? I'm okay if he calls us Grandma, Grandpa. If he wants to call us Mr. Mike and Miss Karen, that's okay too. But should we be concerned about that? Should we, kind of push for him to call us Mom and Dad? She goes, just let it happen. It'll be natural. And sure enough, he walked in our door, he came back to our house, and he was calling us Mom and Dad ever since. Yeah.
So that was, and that's 11 years ago, right? That's 11 years ago.
Yeah.
And now he's 15.
Now he's 15.
And then over the next several years, we did foster care. We always took siblings group. We had a group of 3, another group of 3,
It's
a
because
group
we
of
could
2.
house them.
Because we
That's
could
why.
house them. We had that. You know, God told us to move to Virginia. It was only the 2 of us. We bought a house with 5 bedrooms. Then now we have a big house with 4 bedrooms. So it was tough. Huh? It was tough when some of the kids left. Especially we had a couple of babies that left, and we had one baby for a year and a half.
Yeah.
From 1 month to 19 months.
That was one of the hardest ones to let go.
That was really hard. And when that happens, she rearranges the whole house. That's her.
I have to move furniture around.
She moves furniture around, so I have to be careful when I wake up in the morning. Something that wasn't there in the morning, maybe there in the morning. She does it in the middle of the night while everybody's sleeping. I wake up and what happened? The house has been changed. Moving up to 2019, we get a call from one of the local DSS. They have a sibling group of 4, 6, 5, 3, and almost 2. We said, well, we have the room, we can do it, you know. And again, you always plan, okay, it shouldn't be that long. They're working with the parents, but the parents didn't do their job. And when the parents don't do their job, they wind up losing the kids.
And once we knew that they were not going to.
Yeah, once you knew they're not going to be home, they started looking for people to adopt them.
That's when Seth's sister's adoptive family had suggested that if they ever come up for adoption, they would like to adopt them. And so that was the plan. And so we wanted to make sure that they understood what this meant, you know, the responsibility of taking on 4 more children, because they already had
2, yeah.
2, and 2 of them were special needs, and they were going to take on 4 more. Within a few months, we got some phone calls from the family saying that they need some support. So we were supposed to be the grandparents at this stage, you know, so we are there to support them and to come alongside of them to help them carry this responsibility. DSS called us to ask us if we'd be willing to take them back in our home. And it's not working out with this family, and that they were going to be looking for another family to adopt them. And they'll probably have to split them up.
We thought we're done. We had done foster care for like 14, 15 years, and this is time to just relax and to take it easy. And our pastor at our church even gave us a little ceremony, you know, thanking us for all that we've done over the 15 years with the foster care.
Children.
Gave us a whole bunch of gift cards and, you know, we got a standing ovation at church.
And actually he did that to encourage the body of Christ to step in. Now, we were retiring from fostering. Now, who was going to step up to the plate to take in children or come alongside of them, you know, just to kind of encourage the body of Christ to take on responsibility, because we were stepping back now.
So we get the phone call if we wanted to take the kids back, and we were saying, well, it was nice, just the 3 of us for 4 months, and we said, well, you're going to find another family for them. And they said, oh, yeah, we will. And he goes, well, we may have to split them. I said, wow, that's hopefully not. You know, so I said, we'll take them back. It would be short term.
Yes, we took them in, and within a short period of time.
So we have the 4 kids, and, you know, we're thinking that, you know, they're going to be moving on. And it was the pastor's son was giving the message this day. If God has something for you to do, he will give you the grace and the ability to do it. And I go, oh, no. I know exactly what he means. And Karen's in front of me. She doesn't know that I'm groaning back here.
I'm kind of sitting up in my seat, and I'm sobbing because I know that God is calling us to this, and I don't want to.
And I'm going, no,
I don't want to.
I know,
and I'm somewhat arm wrestling with the Lord, but I'm sobbing because I know he's calling us to this.
And
I
doing the same
turn
thing.
around and I see he's doing the same thing, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, I guess this is for real. Because whenever we would take children in our home, it was always both of us on the same page. Always, always. That's how I always knew that I'm walking where God would have me, because he would be right there with me. The Lord would be talking to him at the same time. So, yeah. So we knew. And I went up right away after the service and had prayer, because and the pastor's wife was the one actually praying with me. I had said to her, you know, God is calling us to adopt these 4 children. And she had said, you know, let us know what we as a church can do to help you out. And I said, you know, I can't think of anything right now, and we prayed about it. But shortly after that, I contacted her and I said, I know exactly what would be good that the church can help us out with, and that's to have mentors for each child. And so that's exactly what we got from the church.
So on Monday, we called the caseworker, and we couldn't get hold of him Monday. Tried to, I think it was like 2 or 3 days before we get hold of him. Finally, we called him up and said, Matt, they said, we have a great family that wants to adopt these kids. He goes, yeah, who is it? And we go, us. The line goes quiet at the other end, you know. And he goes, do you have any references?
And so when we told him, he was like ecstatic. I mean, he was, you know, kidding with us and all.
So right now we have 5 adopted children.
My name is Mason, and I like to plant the ground now. My name is Cadence, and one thing I like to do is play with my toys inside.
My name is Seth, and I like to do sports.
My name is Darren, and I like to do sports. My name is Tristan, and I like doing swimming. And you already did me.
This will be our first year homeschooling, all 5 of them.
Nucleus, cytoplasm, vacuole, mitochondria, cell membranes, cell wall, chloroplast, and Golgi. Nucleus, cytoplasm, vacuole, mitochondria, cell membrane, cell wall, chloroplast, and Golgi.
It's really cool when you ask a 7-year-old what are the parts of a plant cell, and he repeats all the 7 or 8 parts, and I'm
Yes.
going, I didn't know that.
Yes, yes. So
Yeah.
they're doing
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't mean that we don't have behavior
Yeah.
issues, but
Yeah.
because we pulled them into the home and we're doing homeschooling, it's like we can help them with those behaviors and teaching them proper behaviors, because they can't do it out here in public if they haven't learned that at home. So it starts at home first.
Right.
This is from CC. I got these medals. These belong to me.
So I'm the math guy. I do the math. I do 2nd grade math, 5th grade math, and 2nd year algebra, and I am killing 2nd year algebra. I'm doing a great job. I don't know how Seth is doing, but I'm having a good time. I enjoy algebra. I don't think you eat your tomatoes. Oh, thanks. Was that a mosquito?
Yeah.
Oh. All the kids, every one of the kids that came to us, by the time they left, they knew how to swim and they knew how to fish.
And ride a bike.
And ride a bike, yeah.
Ride a bike.
3 things. Well, most of the time they come, they can't ride bikes.
Yeah.
They didn't have a bike, or just never learned how to ride or swim.
They couldn't have swim.
So. One time we had like 5 memberships to the museum here and the aquarium. We get Passes every year to Busch Gardens. We go there, you know, 3, 4, 5 times a year. We had the
Science
Children's
Museum.
Museum, Science Museum. We keep them busy. They keep us busy.
Invitation for the adoption.
Party, yeah.
Yes, yes.
And
And that's at the courthourse?
Yep. In
Yes.
Hanover County. There's those people that came to the
Yeah,
adoption
some of
party.
the mentors and some of the caseworkers and all, and CASA worker.
Teachers. And our daily routine is the kids wake up about 7 o'clock. They do their chores. They make their own beds. You know, get themselves dressed, put away their clothes, make sure they put their clothes into the wash, and then they can come down about 7:30, 8 o'clock.
Right.
And then they'll have breakfast, and usually everybody has the same breakfast. No, this is not Hotel Staffieri. Sometimes it doesn't go over well, but that's the way it goes. And then after the breakfast, they do their reading. Everybody reads.
But before that, what they do is they clean up after themselves. We have them cleaning up after themselves. They all have different chores. So, and we alternate that because we're teaching them life skills. So not only do they clean up after themselves upstairs and make their beds, but also downstairs what we do is we have them when they're done eating, they pick up their plate and they take it over to the counter. They put the stuff in the garbage and get things set up for putting in the dishwasher.
Thank you, Jesus, for the day. Thank you for the food. Thank you that everyone's having a good day. Thank you that these people are here to film us, Lord. And thank you that all of us had been doing good this week. And I pray that everyone has a good rest of their day. Amen.
Amen.
The juice. Sorry.
Oh, there's a hummingbird. Those that wait upon the Lord shall inherit the earth, Psalm 37:9b. So that means if we trust in the Lord, He will guide us and guard us.
There shall.
No evil befall thee. Psalms 91:10a. That means when I'm going through hard times, that God's gonna be protecting me so Satan doesn't hurt me.
Okay, good job. Seth has been water baptized, but Cadence and Mason were water baptized about a month ago in our church. And they requested, we did not push it. Actually, Mason had talked about it for a few times. He even went up for prayer for it. And I thought, he's only 11, so I figured, well, we'll just wait. We'll just kind of wait and make sure that this is from the Lord and not just him wanting to be like somebody else. And he made
the effort to get
the information.
To fill it out.
He made the effort, went to the youth pastor to find out how he could do this.
Yeah.
And yeah, God is moving, and it's so exciting what God's doing in their lives. Same thing with Seth. Seth's part of the youth group. He helps out with children's ministry in the church. And so God has a plan for these children. We don't know. We don't see the big picture. However, we know it is good. There's no way in the world that you can do this without the Lord. It's tough. It's getting down in the trenches with the kids, with behaviors and stuff like that. And you have to be willing to self-sacrifice a lot. We have a person at church that had adopted a little girl that's blind from China. And he said, and he's like in his 30s, he had said that he tells friends, they're talking about adopting or fostering. He says, you have to be willing to sacrifice everything that you enjoy doing. You have to be willing to lay on the line in order to take these children in. And that's what it's all about. However, you get to see the fruit of these children growing, and what a blessing that is to see that. And so the sacrifice that you're made, yes, it's major, but the reward that comes from helping these children out, I mean, I know God's got great things in store for them.
Yep.
Our church is very big on fostering, adopting, getting families and stuff. And they believe if you can't do that, there's always something you can do. You can make a meal, you can babysit, you can do different things to come alongside these families that adopt. But we asked the mentors, and a lot of them said yes, they would be willing to adopt the children if something should happen to both of us.
Yeah. And there's been challenges.
Oh my goodness. Let me just say, with fostering and adopting, it's been one of the hardest things that we have ever done. I mean, we have 2 biological sons, 9 grandkids, and we had challenges in regards to that, but fostering, it's almost like being in a different country, because we've got an education from fostering about the system, about kids and what kids go through and stuff. And it's been one of the hardest things with behaviors and stuff like that. However, it's been the most rewarding seeing these kids
From where
they came,
and then to where they
are today.
Yeah.
And not that they still don't have issues, they do, but God is faithful. God is faithful, and He is helping these kids. And we would not be taking them in if we didn't believe that God's got a good plan for their lives, and that God takes something that was broken and He can turn it around and make good come from it. And that's what we expect for these kids. And they know it, So they have a hope that we can't give them, but that the Lord can give them.